Hello, everybody. Pothead here, and I'm back, baby. Cue fucking celebratory music. I finally got a fucking laptop. Let's fucking go. And I had to come back with a banger. This is a Shoreline Mafia story. Fucking Perc story. It is crazy. Let's just get straight fucking into it. This is the biggest Perc head I've ever met in my life. So that might sound a little boring at the beginning, but let me just get straight into it. So this was, I think, the first time I went to California alone, just to like meet people out there. I didn't bring anyone from my home state with me, and this was during prime Shoreline Mafia times. Like when it was after Rob and Kato had kind of stopped touring with OGs in Phoenix, but it was still like they were huge. It was before the album came out, so I was invited to a Shoreline Mafia show, and obviously I accepted. I was in LA, but it was like 2 days after I was supposed to leave. So I extended my trip, and literally as I'm done booking the plane ticket, I fucking immediately re-up. I bought enough shit for everyone I was trying to turn up with. And yeah, I hung out with my other California homies, and I stayed at my plug's house, who was my fucking man's, for like 2 days. The day rolls around. I hadn't really heard anything, but I wasn't tripping because I was told to just show up and there'd be a band for me, like a media band, so I could get on the stage and shit. But I hadn't really heard anything, but I wasn't, they usually went good on their word. But I should have realized it was LA and they had tons of people to worry about, so I was, fried. I get the venue from Instagram and I take an Uber there. It was like an hour and a half away, but that's like LA traffic. Like, it was really probably only like 5-10 miles from where I was staying. But anyways, I'm in LA mode. I'm getting sky high already. The Uber driver I had was chill as fuck. I still remember. I was like definitely reeking like weed. And he was like, damn, that shit smells good. What you got? And I was like, shit, some Gary Payton from Cookies. And he was hyped. He was like, roll that shit up. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, we finna be in traffic for a minute. I was like, okay, let's do it. So we smoked his car out. I'm telling you, this joint I rolled up, I had like a quarter, I think. I think I put like one of the full ace in this bitch. I ain't even lying. Because it was an hour and a half. That shit had to smoke for a minute. So I ended up having him pull off to a gas station because we were literally like just going 5 miles an hour and we were right next to a 7-Eleven. I was like, we can just hop back into traffic. I can go get a soda and shit. So he was like, okay, cool. So he pulls up to the 7-Eleven. I hand him the joint. And I'm like, I'll be right back. He's just smoking it up in his car. And yeah, so I go get, me a little cranberry Sprite, little, shit. Had to drop some mud. And I had already railed a Perc before I left. So I pretty much accidentally nodded off on the way there because I dropped a deuce and I was like smoking that big ass joint of California cookies. If you didn't know, hits way better than Colorado cookies because Colorado cookies be dry sometimes. I don't know. I think California also because it's sea level and shit. I'm not sure too much of the science behind it, but that shit definitely hits harder. So he wakes me up when we almost get there, and I look out the window and I see literally the longest line to any concert I had ever seen. Like, if I didn't have a ticket, it would have taken me for fucking ever to buy one. I go up to the place that photographers and shit check in for their media passes and stuff. I'm high as fuck already. Probably reeking so bad. Like, I look probably fucking fried. Anyways, I asked for my ticket. They check my name. I'm waiting. He comes back. He's like, sorry, bro, we don't have anything on your name. I was like, what? I like made him go back and check it 3 times. And he's like, third time he comes out, he's like looking at me crazy. I'm like, okay. So I call OGs, straight to voicemail. Call Phoenix, nothing. I'm low-key hot at this point because I extended my trip for this. But, my flight was at 3 a.m. the next day. But, probably it was like probably 5 p.m. So like in 10 hours was when my flight was. So I'm just chilling outside with my drink, finishing up my joint. And when I hear this other guy kind of fighting, like not fighting, but like he's what, like what's going on, for like the same reason. I'm pretty sure with the people, and he comes out, and I kind of recognize him, but he definitely recognizes me. And turns out he was at the Denver show with us, and I was just fried, and I didn't really remember all the people there because there's hella fucking Shoreline Mafia used to run with like 30 people touring. So we get to chopping it up. Turns out same thing happened to him. He's like, I live close as fuck. You want to just go get high and maybe, link up with them afterwards? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And, me being kind of naive at the time, I accepted the stranger's invite to his house. Don't do this. It worked out for me, luckily. But California is full of sketchy people. So we were literally walking distance from this guy's house. He lived like a block away from the venue. And I'm having hella shit on me. Ate a drink, 50 blues, some cookies. I don't tell him nothing, though. We get to his house because I didn't really assume him to have anything. But we get to his house, and the first thing he does once we like walk in the door, goes to his table, boom, 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 breaks up 2 blues, rails them like it was nothing, bro. And I'm looking at this shit like, what the fuck? Because I was getting high off halves at this point. Like, he definitely, like, corrupted me. He was like, you want one? I'm like, yeah, I'll take a free blue. Like, who wouldn't? So he breaks me down. I fucking snort that shit up. So at this point, I'm off 2 blues, a deuce, big-ass joint. I'm high for sure. And we go sit down on his couch. Like, I start rolling up my little cookies. He was like, damn, you got the cookies? I was like, yes, sir. He's like, I don't really be spending money like weed on that. I was like, I do when I'm in California. That's really about it. I don't even smoke weed now, but California, I'll fuck up some weed for sure. So we're sitting at the table, smoking, chopping it up, watching YouTube videos, all that shit. It's literally just like, couch, table, TV, standard setup. And I start to looking at this table, and I see like 4 script bottles, no cap, of just straight 30s. Well, probably like 15s and some other shit, not straight 30s, but lots of Percs. And this guy is non-stop. Like, I did that blue, and I was chilling for a little bit. And he's like, as soon as we sit down on the couch, boom, 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 hands me the bill. I'm like, okay. Because it was only a little bit, because it was just 1 blue. And it was like his extras. And I was like, okay, cool. He was off 3 blues. Probably not going to be anything else for a minute. And I hand him back the bill. Boom, boom, boom. Breaks down another one. I'm like, what the fuck? And he hands me the bill. I do the little bit left and hand him back to him, and he chills out for a second. I'm like, okay, maybe we'll just, watch some Netflix or something, kick it, and I'm already feeling it. I'm like, whoa, I'm fucking high, and I'm, sipping my cup, just trying to be chill. And at this point, like, it was pretty early into me doing Perc, so I was, sitting there like, whoa, fucking floating. Like, I hadn't started nodding off yet because I already nodded off, but yeah, so I was honestly pretty out of it, just watching what was on the TV, fucking smoking, passing on the joint, all this shit. And I don't know what was in this cookies, bro, but it was punching like a boxer. And the 3 blues definitely, but like this cookies strong. So this drink strong, everything strong. And I'm just fighting for my life at this point. Like, hadn't been this high, maybe ever. So this guy definitely corrupted me. But I'm like, I remember this exactly. We were watching Gucci Mane Gas and Mud video, and it was when he flips the big ass 2-liter Sprite up. He's like, I got a 2-liter. You trying to match some drink? I was like, you got some drink? He's like, yeah. I see you sipping. You want to match a deuce or whatever? And I had a 6 left. I was like, yeah, sure, I can match a 6. So he pulls out a fucking 20 ounce, and I'm like, you gonna get any more soda? And he's like, no, let's just drop the 4 in here. I was like, okay. So I remember this exactly. I had some Tech or Acorn, and he had some Wok. So, boom. We're putting this together. We're mixing, mastering, scientist style. And the Sprite was beautiful. If I still have the flip video, I'll post it here. But I've gone through like 6 phones since then. But yeah, so this cup was so strong, bro. I'm telling you, like, Sprite and High Tech is already super strong with just a deuce. And you throw another deuce of Wok in there? My God. It was straight syrup at that point. So, I'm drinking this cup, fighting for my life. I'd already had another. I was double fisting. I was Edward Scissorhands with drank, bro. Or 40 hands or whatever it's called. With drank. 4 cups. Boom. Both doubled. Knocking them back. And we sit down. He's sipping his cup a little bit. Breaks out the bill. Bust, bust, bust. At this time, it's 2 blues. And he hands me it, and there's literally a full 30 left. I was like, are you sure, bro? He's like, yeah, go ahead, bro. It's all good, bro. And at this point, like, I can tell he's high. Like, he's going sniffing, you know how that shit be. Yeah, so I do the 30, and I'm really feeling at this point. I can feel my eyes like drooping and shit. I probably finish my cup, and I'm like a quarter of the way into this 4. I know I'm about to nod out, so I'm like, bro, I think I'm gonna go get some food or something. He's like, you sure, bro? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you want to do another blue for the road? And I was like, I was so high at this point. I was like, fuck it, why not? So we do this blue, as I'd already called my Uber, because I knew what was gonna happen. I literally looked down at my phone, and there's like the Uber, is like arriving sooner. It's not there, so I didn't get up and leave. I'm like, I looked down at my phone, Uber's already here, and like the next thing I remember is opening my eyes, and my phone is ringing like nonstop. And it's my Uber driver. He's like, yo, are you coming out? And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm on my way right now. So I dapped this fool up, grabbed my cup, left my joint there. Thank God. I don't know how I got out of this shit with like everything that I brought there. Like, I can't believe I didn't forget anything or whatever. He's like, oh, by the way, you want a Xan for the road? And I was like, I mean, I'll take it. And he's like, no, you got to pop it. I was like, bro, come on. He's like, come on, I'm going to do mine right now, too. I was like, okay. So I popped this Xan, too, bro. And literally, as I'm going out the door, we dap each other up. I'm almost out this door, and I hear this kid, boom, 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 breaking down more blues. And I'm like, oh, my God. I cannot do any more. And I'm literally almost at the door, and this kid's like, yo, wait, hold up, hit this line. I was like, oh, my God. I don't know, like, high me just doesn't know how to turn down shit, or high me just wants to do more. I don't know, either one. So I double back, rail this line quick as fuck, and at this point, like, my Uber driver's already texted me 3 times. He calls me again, he's like, yo, I'm about to leave if you don't come. I'm like, no, bro, I'm almost at the door. I'm, like, literally, like, almost there. He's like, whatever, like, exasperated already, I can tell. So I literally am, like, running. I probably wasn't running, I was too high, but I thought I was running, moving real fast. I see his car, still remember, black Toyota Prius, as every fucking Uber is in LA. I'm literally out the stairs, see this guy, I'm like, all right, there it is, boom, I'm good to go, home free, got my cup in my hand, bag, everything good. And I had put in the wrong address, but I didn't know this yet, so I get in the Uber, we exchanged pleasantries or whatever, and literally, probably before we even took off, maybe we were like down the road or something, I nodded out. For sure, 100%. Because I woke up with lean all in my pants. But it wasn't a bad spill. I don't know if you guys ever nodded out with a cup in your hand, but you hold that shit pretty close. So it was just like tipping a little bit. I just started to tip. I was like, oh shit. Saved most of it. And he's like, we're here. I'm like, where are we? This is not the address I put in. He's like, yes, it is, bro. This is 100% the address you put in. I looked down at my phone. Wrong address. Fuck. I'm like, yo, I made a mistake. Any chance you could drive me to this address? And obviously they get paid if you change the address. So he's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So I put in the address, an hour away. We went an hour in the wrong direction. I'm like, fuck. Well, honestly, I don't even know why I was pissed, bro. I straight nodded out the rest of the way. Like, I just woke up at my homie's house. He's like, we're here. I'm like, I look around, see familiar surroundings. I'm like, oh, thank God. Get out. I call my homie up. He's like, yo, I'm not at the crib, bro, but it should be open. Just go up. I was like, okay. I go up. Not open. 100% locked. I call him. He's like, oh, there should be a key under the mat. I'm like, okay, for sure. I go up. Thank God there's a key under this mat. But I was really high, and I couldn't figure out how to open this door for the longest. I had to call my homie like 3 times because I was like turning it and it wasn't turning. I didn't want to break the key. I felt like I was going to like snap it or whatever. He's like, no, bro, just put pressure on it. And as soon as I put enough pressure on it, it's like, it felt like I was going to break it, and it just went click, and I got in. I'm like, oh shit, bet. I remember closing the door behind me, locking it, cup in hand, walk over to the couch, put my cup down. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna finish this cookies. I start breaking down the weed, and I'm just like, I can barely keep my eyes open, bro. I'm like hunched over the rolling table, right? Breaking down this weed in my paper. And I'm just like, my head just keeps dropping onto my paper. I'm like, whoa. And I like, one time I nodded out and bucked up my head so hard, I just threw the weed everywhere. And I was like, fuck. So I literally just slouched back in this couch, bro, and just dozed off. And the next thing, I woke up in the morning, bro. My homie never came back for the night. He stayed out all night. So I missed my fucking flight. I'm like, fuck. So I wake up, bro, and I look at my phone. So many fucking notifications, bro. The guy who was blowing me up the most was the guy who I was just with. He's like, yo, I'm going to go link up with OGs and them. You want to come? Question mark. Missed call. And I was just responding. I was like, my bad, bro. Nodded out. He's like, oh, I feel you were looking pretty high. You want to come chill today? I was like, let me see when I get this flight. I look up flights. It is literally $1,200. So I want to get a flight that day anytime before the red eye. So I booked the red eye. I'm like, yeah, I'm free till 3. So I go meet up with this dude again, bro. Again. I go to the same place, and we're going to have to break it off for there, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the new story back. Love you guys so much. Thanks for sticking with me. Hope you have a great day. Bye.